Trigger warning for this video. There may be a lot of pictures containing blood and there's going to be a lot of talk about surgical stuff, so if you're sensitive to that, maybe just don't watch this video. Thank you. Right, surgery day is here. It's almost 6:10. Quite anxious, quite shaky, but I'll be fine. I'm just waiting now till about 6:30 is when I'm getting picked up by a family member. And then we head down to the hospital. So this is literally the last day that I have my thyroid. Feels so weird. Feelings right now are very anxious, but also very happy. Quite excited, to be fair. I think it's just the going under and waking up that I'm a bit unsure on, but I'm sure people will look after me, so I'll be fine. Right, now we just wait for my car to arrive. I arrived at the hospital about 7 AM and my admission wasn't until about 7:30, so I just waited around at the lobby. About 7:15 I went to go find the day case unit. I admitted myself there. I did some paperwork with one of the nurses, and then I basically just sat around for a bit, honestly. It was pretty much like a standard hospital waiting room. I just took my phone with me, my earbuds. I took a word search book. I did a lot of word searches. I was waiting around for a bit and it got to about 10 o'clock and I just felt, I felt a little bit tired. I just sat in the chair, sort of curled up a little bit and tried to start drifting off to sleep. Just close my eyes and relax, chill myself out. About 10:30, I heard somebody say my name and I was like, oh, okay, great. And this nurse came up to me and gave me some pills. She gave me just some pain relief, some paracetamol and ibuprofen, and then also a sickness tablet because you can get a little bit sick after the anaesthetic, whichever one. And another lady told me to follow her into a changing room and she just described what I needed to do and stuff. I just needed to basically take everything off apart from my underwear. I could keep my pants on. I had to take my bra off, everything else. And then I had 2 surgical gowns. I had one to put on normally, on the front, as you do, and then tie up at the back. And then I also had a second one to put backwards, like a dressing gown sort of thing, to just cover up the back area. Keep myself nice and modest. So I had those on, and then I also had to put some surgical socks on, to keep my legs stopped from blood clotting and stuff, So yeah, it was about 10:30 and I was just sat around waiting. Where I was, the waiting room area, there wasn't a lot of signal. Like most hospitals, you don't get a lot of good signal. So I was trying my best to keep my family and my friends updated on everything. And then once I got into that changing room, there was literally no signal whatsoever. And I was like, okay, great. How am I going to tell people that I'm literally about to have surgery and get put under? But I pretty much typed out a message and I was like, it is 10:30 as I'm sending this. So, at some point, hopefully it will send later when I get signal or when I get service. I also texted my partner and my mum just to let them know I was going down because I wanted them to know specifically because they're my next of kin. And then I pretty much sat in that little room for a little bit. I wasn't sure what time someone will come get me. I didn't know how long I will have to wait there. But I want to say about 11 o'clock, maybe 11:15-ish. A lady come and got me, and then I left my bag in that room so it could just get bagged up and, it will get given to me later on. She walked me down to a different room and then I took off the second surgical gown, like the dressing gown kind of one, because I don't really need that anymore. And then I hopped up on the bed, and then I just laid there for a bit and kind of waited even more. A few other people came and got me while I was in the bed, and they basically pushed me from the bed down to the anaesthetic room. And obviously I'm getting quite nervous now because I've never been put under before. And then they were just talking about what they're doing to me. So I had a cannula put in my hand, like in my veins. Cannula is like a small needle with like a tube, so they can reach like your veins easier instead of like poking you with needles all the time. They also put like these small circular things on my body, like stickers, so they can monitor my brain waves and my heart rate. So what they did is, I think they stuck 2 on my forehead, maybe even 3, can't quite remember. But I do remember them putting them on my forehead because he was pushing them down so hard, and I was just trying to make a joke of like, oh, you're just trying to stab my brain out or something. And then they put 1 on each temple, and then there was 1 on this side, I think like up here, and then 1 on this side up here, 1 in between my breasts, and then 1 down on the side of my rib down here. And that was just to like monitor my brain waves and my heart rate while the surgery was happening. Obviously a lot of people were talking, so I couldn't quite get exactly what they were saying. One person just basically put a mask over my face and was like, breathing deep, just deep breaths in and out, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I felt someone put liquid into my cannula, so I assume that's like the anaesthetic. And then obviously the mask as well. They said the mask was just oxygen, and then that's it. I was gone, absolutely gone. Like, I just remember them putting the mask on my face, telling me to breathe deep, and I was just looking at the ceiling, and then I could feel my eyes just dropping. My eyelids were just going off, and then that's it. I was gone, completely gone. The last time I remember knowing the time, it was probably about 11:30. I think that's when I got to like the anaesthetic room. It might have been later, it might have been earlier, I'm not quite sure. And then all I remember is waking up in the same bed, same things, whatever. I just remember this nurse next to me, sat next to me, just asking me questions about who I am, my birthday, blah, 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 the usual sort of stuff they ask you. And then I remember asking her what time it was, and she said it was about 3:30. So I was out for the count for about 4 hours, but I had no clue that I was completely gone. It's just a really weird experience. Obviously I was dazed, I was tired, I was a bit confused. So I woke up with a drain in my neck to just drain the blood and the fluid and everything. I did know that beforehand, so I was expecting it. I also had quite a big dressing across my neck. It was sort of like a cling film sort of dressing, but it was like really sticky, so it stayed on. That was quite uncomfortable, but it's just something that I had to get used to. So yeah, I stayed in that room for a little bit. I want to say maybe half an hour, and then they were just trying to find out where I was going. And then eventually they sent me back to day case ward. I got on that ward about 4:30, maybe 4 o'clock, because then it took me a while to get my items from somebody, and he gave me my phone, and then I was able to, it was about 4:30 when I got my phone, turned my data on, and then that message that I sent in the morning delivered to absolutely everyone. So they finally got an update. Like, I sent messages to them whatever in the morning, and then they finally get a message at like 4:30 in the afternoon saying that I've going for surgery, but I've already had it and it's already over and done with. So first thing I did is I phoned up my partner. He was at work, but I gave him a call, and I was extremely emotional, very tired and dazed, because I'm still like on the medication they gave me, like on the anaesthetic, and I'm coming down from it, but obviously there's loads of medication in my body and just making me all dazed and confused. So I called him straight away and just saying that, you know, I'm awake. I cried. Of course I did. Of course I cried. but I was just happy that, you know, I was happy that it's over and it was done. I called my mum. She lives about an hour away from where I live, so I gave her a call and just was like, you know, it's all done and dusted, it's over, I'm cool. So luckily my voice was not affected. Like when I woke up, I was a bit tired from talking and my voice was maybe a bit croaky, but luckily it wasn't, touch wood, it hasn't been permanently affected. As you can tell, I'm talking perfectly fine. As I'm recording this section, it has been about 2 weeks since my surgery. So as you can tell, my voice seems okay. So I was sat in a room with just one other lady and she was so nice to me. She took care of me. She mentioned that you are actually allowed visitors, and obviously I didn't know that. I thought there were like no visitors allowed whatsoever, so I got emotional because I was like, wow, I can actually see my family. So I told my partner and my mum that I'm actually allowed visitors, and they came over. So my mum and my partner found each other in the hospital, and then they were trying to get to where I was, and eventually they made it, and I cried as soon as they turned up because obviously I would. Then a member of staff came and was just explaining like where I'm going, which ward I'm going to, and then they wheeled me off. The ward was absolutely beautiful, like everyone was so nice. I was in a room with like 3 elderly ladies and they were very, very kind and caring. So yeah, my mum and my partner was there with me for a bit. They left when visiting hours ended, which was about 7:30. I called a nurse over so I could go to the toilet because I was absolutely desperate. I was perfectly fine walking. I was just a bit sore and stiff up at the top because obviously I've just been cut open. You know, I was like tensed up because I'm trying to protect myself from hurting it. You know, it's just a natural reaction. So honestly, while I was in hospital, I looked a bit like this just all the time because I'm trying to protect myself, and like I'm walking around like this for like the first day. Just I couldn't turn my neck. I've got pictures and stuff that I will show you. Yeah, as you can see now, I'm very relaxed. But the first day with the dressing on as well, I couldn't really move anything, so it did felt a bit weird to begin with, but I sort of got the hang of it and got used to it. The first night in hospital was okay. I didn't really sleep very well. I woke up like 3 or 4 times. I had to keep getting checked on, so they come and check my blood pressure, my temperature, and like my heart rate with the monitor on your finger. That was every 4 hours while I was there. So like they wake me up in the middle of the night to check me. Next morning was okay. I felt a little bit more relaxed. Some staff members came to see me in the morning and they told me just to like start trying moving my neck a bit, start moving it up and down to like reduce the stiffness of it. Oh, my partner and his mum came in the morning to come see me, make sure I was okay. And I was perfectly fine. But I wasn't expecting to spend 3 days in hospital, so I didn't really bring a lot of clothes. I only brought 1 pair of clothes because I thought I was just there for the night, but I was there for 2 nights. So I had to get my partner to bring me a load of more stuff. But most of the day I just spent sat doing nothing. So when I was obviously put to sleep, I had 1 cannula in my right hand. I'm right-handed, so it was a bit annoying that they use their hand. Right here I think is where, yeah, there it is. I can see like the little scab. That's where they put that one. And then I woke up with a second one. I'm still bruised from it. I had a second one put in here, which was so annoying and so uncomfortable because I could feel the tube down here. Like I couldn't feel it all the time, but I could feel, I think it was like down here because at one point I adjusted myself in the bed and I kind of like twisted my hand the wrong way and I could like I had like a shooting sensation all the way down here. It's still a bit sore actually. But yeah, I don't understand why I needed a second one in. I do not understand. But I had 2 in for the whole of Tuesday, I believe. And then I finally asked them on Wednesday, like, can I take one of them out? Can I take them out? Because they didn't need them, like they didn't use them at all on the Tuesday for anything. But I'm still a little bit bruised from that one. That was an absolute killer when she took it out on Wednesday. I slept okay that night, slept a bit better. And then on the Wednesday, so they came and checked my drainage tube. So I had a tube in here and it was going all the way to like a plastic oval collector thing, I guess. I didn't want to take pictures of that because it did have my blood in it. I didn't want to take pictures of that because it's a bit gross. They checked it the day before as well. They checked it on the Tuesday. And it had about 40 mil in it. And then they checked it again on the Wednesday. Oh, they checked it Tuesday night. And it had about 60 mil after that. And then again, they checked it on the Wednesday. And I think it just had about 60 again. So it wasn't really draining that much anymore. But then unfortunately, the person was a bit like, we're going to have to just keep you in for another night. So I was expecting to stay again on the Wednesday night, which I was a bit upset with. But doctor's orders. And then my actual surgeon who did the whole thing came to see me and check on me, and he looked properly at like the drainage tube, and the blood inside the tube just wasn't really moving along. So it really had stopped draining. So I didn't really need to stay there another night. So he said, you know, get the tube out, get all my medication sorted, and I could go home. I was like, thank the Lord. Oh my God, I was so happy because I just didn't want to be in the hospital anymore. I just wanted to go home and go to my own bed. So yeah, luckily I was able to go on the Wednesday. So the nurse in charge, bless her, she came to me and she was like, right, let's get this drain out. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, I was absolutely terrified, but she did an absolutely beautiful job. I cried a lot because the dressing on my wound has been on there since the surgery on the Monday. So it's been covered for 2 days. And it was absolutely completely stuck to my skin. It hurt so much taking it off. I honestly think taking the dressing off hurt more than her pulling the fucking drain out. Seriously. Like, I was just crying a lot. She was trying to get me to calm down, breathing in through my nose, out from my mouth so I can just chill. But yeah, she was pulling the dressing off. She had to even stop a few times because I was upset that bad. But she actually did a really good job of making me feel more calm. But yeah, she took the whole dressing off. As soon as that was gone, that was perfectly fine. But then I could feel her pulling the tube out of my neck, which was a really weird experience. And then I assume like she stitched it up. It had like stitches on the tube at the beginning of it, so I assume like she stitched up there. I don't really know. I didn't really question it. But thank the Lord that was gone. Honestly, I had to walk around holding my blood in a tub for 2 days. It was really weird. I've explained it to people like the Ood from Doctor Who, because they have a tube like down in their chin and they're holding their fucking balls to try and talk. I literally felt like that because I'm walking around holding the container in my right hand because I can't do anything around with my right hand because of these 2 cannulas in my hand, because every time I move it it's just very uncomfortable. So I'm just walking around, and I'm not left-handed. I broke my left elbow when I was younger, so I can't do anything with my left hand. So it was just very uncomfortable, very weird. She took the drain out, put a fresh dressing on, and I was all good to go. They collected medication for me, and my mother-in-law was also there with me. She was the one taking me home. I had to have 2 ibuprofen, 2 paracetamol 4 times a day. I was on calcium supplements twice a day, and then obviously my thyroid hormone replacement thing once a day. I've got the calcium things here. They are absolutely huge, but they are chewable. I have to bite them and eat them instead of swallow them. So just to explain why I am on calcium, I might have already mentioned this in the last video, but I'll mention it again. So behind your thyroid glands are parathyroid glands, and they just basically control the calcium levels in your body. And they can get like touched by accident during thyroid removal surgery. And obviously mine were, and they're very, very sensitive. Like even a little poke would make them freak out. So mine were like a little bit touched, so they were just a little bit damaged, but touch wood again, fingers crossed, hopefully not permanent. But on the Wednesday, I did feel some symptoms of low calcium. So the doctors told me that I would get tingling sensation in my hands, my feet, and my face, which was such a weird experience to go through. It's like pins and needles in your face. It was not fun. It was not great. So my mother-in-law brought me home, made sure I was safe. My partner was also home. He was working from home, so he could look after me. And then honestly, I went to bed about 7 p.m. Well, I was going to go to bed about 7. And then I went for a shower, finally. Finally a good fucking shower. I didn't wash my hair though, because I didn't want to, I don't know, get the dressing wet. I just wasn't sure what to do, because I had the fresh dressing on, and she said to keep it on for a few days. So I left it on until Saturday. But yeah, I had a nice, lovely shower. I just had a quick one because I couldn't really stand up for that long, because I'd get tingling in my face and it would just make me feel a bit dizzy. So my partner helped me out with that and just made sure I was safe. And then I was in bed at like 7:30, finally in my own bed. Again, my partner, bless him, he slept downstairs so I can have the whole bed to myself, so he didn't disturb me. I slept a bit upright because I couldn't really like lay my head flat yet, because of the dressing as well. It kind of restricts you. But I had a lovely night's sleep, and then my partner just looked after me for the whole week. I couldn't climb the stairs or go down the stairs on my own. I wasn't showering on my own because, you know, just in case. I didn't realise how dependent I would have had to be. I'm a very independent person. I'm a grown fucking woman. I like to just do things myself. But it was just really weird to have to be dependent on someone else and my family as well. But it was also really fucking lovely to know that I have that support. On the Thursday, I did have quite a scare because I had that tingling sensation in my face for so long. I woke up about 8 o'clock in the morning and it was constant in my face. I took my medication like I usually do, and it was just constant, and it was actually really upsetting me because I was scared that I would have to go back to hospital. But then I also know it would be a waste of time because they'll just try to take my blood and then send me home anyway. But it was also just really frustrating because I'd get tingling around my eyes, and then it made me feel like my pupils were shaking. But I know it's not my eyes, it's my eyelids, it's around my eyes. But it would just make me feel like my pupils were shaking constantly. And then that would also make me feel a bit dizzy and just make me not want to look at anything. So I was quite upset and I got a bit emotional because I was quite scared that I would have to go to hospital. By like 11 o'clock, it finally like slowed down on my face. Like it wasn't as bad. I would still get it in my hands and my feet, but luckily it like properly slowed down on my face. And then I was like, if that happens again tomorrow, then that's it, I'll have to go to hospital. But luckily on the Friday, it didn't happen that bad. It happened a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. Saturday morning, I finally took off the dressing, and oh my God, it hurt so much. Again, I already knew how bad it would hurt, but it was so bad because I had to do it myself. Like, as much as my partner's helped me, he says, I can't do that because I know you're going to cry and I don't want to be the one to cause you pain. So I was like, it's okay, I'll do it. I'll be fine. I was fine. I just had to stop quite a few times and just calm myself down and remind myself to breathe in and out in my nose, out from my mouth. I was like peeling it off, and then I had to stop for a bit, peel it off again, had to stop for a bit, and then it got stuck like right on the end here because I thought it was stuck on my actual wound, and I was like, I don't want to pull it. I don't want to pull it. I don't want to do it. But I calmed myself down, and I was like, I was talking to myself. I was like, you get this dressing off, you can wash your hair. I had not washed my hair for about 5 days. I was like, you get this dressing off, girl, then you can finally wash your fucking hair. That was the motivation keeping me going. But after crying a lot about it and crying about the pain, I finally got the dressing off, and I was so happy. And I finally had a nice long shower and washed my hair. It was such a good shower. Made me feel a lot more human as well. Hello, it is the 18th of June, and it's been a few days since my surgery. As you can hear, I can talk-ish. Occasionally I lose my voice and get a bit tired of talking, so I'll keep this clip nice and short. I've just managed to take my dressing off today. That was not fun, but as you can see, I'm healing slowly but surely, and I'm getting there. I'm just happy to start feeling normal again. I finally had a shower and washed my hair since Monday, and it's Saturday now. So now I'm feeling a bit more human. Still not 100%, but I'm getting there. I spent the second week honestly just relaxing at home. It took me a while to start doing things on my own. I want to say it did take about a week for me to just finally get a bit more independence. I couldn't drive for that first week because obviously you need your neck movement to drive, and when you've got a dressing on, you've got a cut right on your neck, you can't really like turn to see what's going on behind you or whatnot. Yeah, the second week I just spent mostly relaxing, and I took a nap every single day. Even if I didn't do anything that day, I just had a lot of fatigue, and that could be a sign of my thyroid levels changing, or that could just be a sign of my body trying to rest after literally trying to recover. So it has been 2 weeks since my surgery. It is the 27th of June, Monday the 27th, so it has officially been 2 weeks since I've had my surgery. And as you can see, like, it's actually pretty good. I'm actually very impressed. So this hole over here was where the drain was. Obviously here's my actual cut in all its glory. I'm actually very happy with it, to be fair. It's quite small. It's not in your face. I can't really... The thing I'm struggling with at the minute is looking up. I can't, like, it's very... That's probably about as far as I can go. It's very uncomfortable. Yeah. That's the thing I'm kind of struggling with, because it feels like I'm being pulled down. And technically I kind of am, because my skin has been pulled down and moved and stitched together and blah, blah, blah. I feel good. It's not bruised badly. Another thing that I do struggle with as well is talking for a long time. I've been recording this video for about half an hour, And I'm just getting a bit tired of talking. Like, I was told I would get voice fatigue, and I do get voice fatigue. So I just get a bit tired of hearing my own voice. No, but in all seriousness, I just get tired of talking, because obviously they've moved my voice nerves and everything. So yeah. But other than that, I'm really good. I'm all good. I can't really tell if much has changed in terms of like my thyroid side effects. I will say a few things I have noticed is I've lost a little bit more hair than usual. It doesn't fall out now, I don't think. No, it doesn't come out now, but like when I'm brushing it before or after a shower, or while I'm in the shower, I have realised I've lost quite a bit more hair than I usually have. I don't know if that's a part of my thyroid or if that's a part of not washing my hair for a while. One or the other. Another thing I have noticed is I can sometimes get a bit emotional over stupid things. So obviously, you know, my hormones are completely everywhere. My body is literally changing. The hormones are just up and down. So some stuff I get physically upset over, and there's no reason to, and I could just simply fix it. Yeah, there's nothing else I've really noticed. I think I've put on a little bit of weight, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah, that probably because my thyroid obviously went underactive for quite a while I was in the hospital. And then I was put on medication on the Tuesday. There's no way in telling if that medication is the correct dosage for me yet. I do have to have a checkup with a GP within a month of my surgery, so some point soon, just to see how my thyroid levels are and my calcium levels are. But other than that, we are all good. I will say sometimes it is a bit more stiffer on some days than others. I can clearly, like I'm showing you now, I'm turning my neck perfectly fine. The only thing I struggle with, as well as looking up, is trying to look behind me. So like if I'm looking in the mirror and trying to, you know, look over my shoulder, I can do it, just can't do it that well. Another thing that really hurts is sneezing. Oh my god, that hurts so much the first time. It still does hurt to sneeze sometimes, because obviously I'm still sensitive, I'm still a bit bruised, I'm still recovering. I will say it is quite a bit sensitive as well, like the actual skin. It does feel a bit weird, but we're all good. People have also said like they don't really notice it until I mention it. I don't know if I believe them, because it's like something I notice. My partner and my family have also said it looks loads better than when I was first out of surgery. My partner's even said it looks like it's fading already. Like, he's the one who looks at me most. I can't really tell if it has, but I am very impressed with it. I'm very happy with how small it was. I thought it'd be a lot longer. I'm very happy with how it's turned out. Obviously there's a little bit of a bump here, but I think that's like where the stitches start or end. I think start. So here we go. As you can see, it's a bit bruised up here, a bit dark, but we're all good. We're all good. We're healing. Slowly but surely we're healing. All in all, I am extremely happy with how things have turned out. I am so relieved that it's over. All that anxiety leading up to the day is finally gone. Like, I can just relax now. I'm so glad I decided to have it done while I'm younger. Like, I'm only 23 now. So obviously my body can just bounce back and recover as soon as possible. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. I have been recording this video for almost an hour. I've been talking a lot, so I think I'm going to leave it here because I'm getting tired of talking. Before I go though, I do want to say, you know, anybody out there who has just been diagnosed with this, who is going through this, you know, you're not alone. Like, there's loads of other people out there going through it as well. I know it feels like you might be alone, but you're truly not. Like, there's a lot of different communities out there who you can reach out to for questions and support. And yeah, I found one myself, and you know, they've just been absolutely great. And they're very supportive as well. Like, I found one on Facebook and they're so nice. Like, I shared my news of having surgery and they were so kind, and they cheer you on. And yeah, it's just been great. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, like in the comments or on my Instagram. Completely up to you. Obviously, I might not be able to help fully with your questions, but you know, if you have any questions about my personal experience having surgery and going through this, then just give me a shout. I don't mind answering your questions. But I do hope this video has helped at least someone out there. You know, there's nothing to be afraid of. Anyway, thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me, and I guess I'll give you an update at some point in the future. Bye. Ugh, so exhausted talking. If you have any questions, please don't reach out. Please don't reach out. God's sake. Why is it making me emotional?